Well, tomorrow morning we head out, and I'm ending my last night in my house in Nashville. Ending it like life begins. You remember when you were a kid and you used to sleep on the floor, you'd have a sleepover, or, well, everything's out of the house now. And I have to get some rest before I head out in the morning, but the beds are gone, the furniture's gone, the sofa's gone. So here we are, camped out on the floor. And you know what? You're never too old to do that. I might be 57 years old, but I can tough it out on the floor just like anybody else. It's crazy life. You know, I got a lot of people in the comments saying I need to write a screenplay, or, you know, these videos are like an audiobook. And, you know, I just told one of them, I said, man, I feel like I could stream of consciousness, do an entire audiobook probably in one take. This crazy, crazy life. You have to laugh, man. You know, I don't want anybody out there to think that, you know, I'm depressed or oh, this or that. Man, yeah, I'm a little bit tired, and I'm a little bit frazzled from, you know, Nashville. I was gonna probably, originally intended to probably just go till I dropped here. And, you know, this would be where I would, you know, my life would end. And, but, you know, I have my family here, and, but, you know, opportunities came that we had to take. And, you know, I'm having so much, you know, creative fun on YouTube. You know, at first doing the videos playing, and, you know, I did lesson videos, and I did demos. I did a lot of demos, and some of them are good. You know, I always tried to play good, but man, you know, I'm very much a person who likes to keep the spontaneity. So I don't do a lot of takes. I try to just nail it in the first take. And it's the same thing with these videos. Sometimes I don't even have a topic or anything in mind. It's just stream of consciousness. And I will say this has been finding my voice and finding what you want. Because this is not about me. This is not really my channel. This is our channel. You know, man, I had a heartbreaking comment today. You know, I took some pokes at millennials, and you know, of course, they were just the millennials that you know, I had experience with, you know, on the road. But yeah, I had a millennial chime in, and I'm not gonna quote him directly or read anything because that's not how I operate. But he basically said that millennials are so afraid of you know, having their lives ruined by the internet and video and cameras and phones and all that they don't want to risk being accused of anything. You know, were there to be, you know, liaisons on the bus, or, whatever. And, and like I kind of tried to say in my video, I kind of tried to just say, I'm not talking about being Led Zeppelin. It's one thing to be outrageous and taking liberties you should not be taking. I'm talking about coming out, having a beer, saying hi, saying, oh, where are you guys from? Having a couple more sips of the beer, goes, well, guys, I got to crash, and going and getting in your bunk. I'm not talking about, hey, honey, what are you doing tonight? I'm not talking about picking up women or whatever, because, but I will say this, when you're on a pirate ship, and a tour bus is really a pirate ship, when you're on that bus, and especially because you are, 9 times out of 10, 90% of the time, mostly 100% of the time, it's just a bunch of dudes on a bus. And everybody's different. Everybody likes different things. You try to have common ground and, watch shows that everybody likes to watch, and, and all that. But man, you just, for me personally, and it wouldn't even be, getting to talk to girls, or, sometimes I just go off the bus and I go back in the club. And because I was just a side man, I could walk freely. I could go back in the club and just sit down at the bar and order a beer and not be around the 12 or 13 people that I've been on a bus with for 22 hours. And man, that would be a relief. And so I get it that these millennials don't want to do anything that would, cause them, ruin their lives or whatever. They're so afraid of human interaction. But I'm telling you, man, the therapy that I needed was the human interaction. And sometimes it would just be, the good old boy down at the end of the bar who goes, man, you guys were awesome. And you know what I say, man, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And I would sit there and I would make friends. And, I just really liked just being able to talk to somebody that wasn't that same 12 or 13 people. And they are bus politics. When you're on a bus, there's people in charge. There's the artist, there's the crew, and there's the sideman. And unless you're in a bigger act where there's separate buses, a mid-level act is going to have everybody on the same bus. And you all have different lifestyles and different needs. And you're not always going to get along. And those inner band politics can really start to get under your skin, to where people might be talking about you, or they may be going to the artist and saying things about you that are not true, or maybe they are true, but it's just like, dude, there's all kinds of power plays going on behind the scenes. And you have to try to not let that stuff bother you. But it does bother you. It does. And then you've got, the issues that you're dealing with, maybe at home. Maybe you've got somebody at home that's didn't want you to get on that bus. And, but you go, look, we need the money. I got to get on the bus. It's either this, or remember a few weeks before I got this gig and we were starving and we were eating like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. I got to get on this bus. And then when it comes time to get on the bus, they just make your life miserable. They make you want to get on the bus because they're just, And so then you're dealing with that. You're dealing with the pressures of that. You're dealing with the politics on the bus. You're dealing with, artists, tour managers, crew. And then you're dealing with the crew at the venue and whatever else is going on in the crowd. And sometimes things can happen. But it would be such a relief to just sit down at the bar, order a beer, and strike, and then all of a sudden a conversation. It usually would start off with somebody, man, I really like the way you play, or usually be a compliment, and but it would be like a relief, because this person didn't know anything about any of that inner, personnel, drama or behind the scenes politics, and they're just a regular person, kind of like you were or I was when I was a kid, or when I was 20 years old, and I'd go out to a bar and I'd see a band, and maybe I'd say, hey man, I really like the way you were playing guitar. It's a full circle moment. But to be able to just sit down with somebody and tell some jokes, and maybe their girlfriend's there and maybe she's cracking jokes, and then a couple people come over, and you're having your own little fiesta, and none of the people on the bus, they're on the bus doing their same old nonsense. They're the ones that are watching a football game or sitting watching a football game. The ones that want to sit in the lobby in their shorts and drink a glass of wine in their tank tops, they're doing that. And, meanwhile, the crew is doing the crew stuff. So having that ability, coming from a generation where I'm not afraid to just go plopped out. If I still drank now, I would have no problem. If I was single, or, I didn't have a family, I'd have no problem just plopping myself in, the Red Door here in Midtown. And I'd take an Uber by myself, no problem, sit down at the bar, and probably within 20 or 30 minutes, I've got a new friend. And that is a skill in life that can benefit you well. So here we are, full circle. Back on the floor. We're going to find out what this back is made of in the morning, right? Because tomorrow morning, getting that U-Haul, and I'm making the haul down to Florida. Thank you, everybody, for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace. Well, it's 3 a.m. and I got about 5 or 6 hours sleep. Got a good shave last night. Always takes a lot of years off the face. But here we go. Start of a day. I've got this eerie flashlight as my light source. But anyway, pretty surreal. It's very early in the morning. I'm going to be very careful and take it easy in this U-Haul. All right. Just, I know everybody's wanting to know what's going on, and maybe I'll try and document some of today. Put it all together and let you know how the trip went. All right. See you in a little bit. allure of the Buc-ee's cannot be denied. You had me at clean bathrooms, Buc-ee's. But, yeah, first stop of the trip.